In this section, we're going to dive deeper into the results viewer and understand kind of the different visualizations and tabular formats that are available to us. So remember in the last section, we did some filtering. So you can tell we did that because there were originally around 400 variants here, and now we've got 47. So I'm going to go into the summary visualization, and then I'll dive into the different variant and gene tables as well. So with the summary here, as you can see, this is the high-level summary, and there's a number of visualizations that are available to you, whether it be counts, and you can see these are the recurrently mutated genes, and that we have 4 different samples in which BRCA1 or BRCA1 has been mutated or altered. Here's another nice summary, coding versus non-coding. So you can see that we've got 38 coding alterations. One thing to note is that when you mouse over and you see this little cross icon, you can move the visualizations around. So I'm making a mess here, but you can see you just need to basically, you can kind of drag and drop things so that the visualization is to your liking. You can also remove visualizations if they're not that helpful to you. So let's dive into the variant table here, or variant visualizations as well. So remember we filtered and we have 47 total variants left that have clinical annotation. One thing to note is that you can actually dive into the actual annotation here. Remember we filtered to the variants that only had ClinVar annotation. And you can see what I did was I clicked on that plus sign here, and I can expand and see all of those different annotations. So what we see here is the top level view with a table, and then you can see these are kind of different kinds of information. So you can see that we can dive into particular kinds of annotation here. Again, this is movable. So there are different views. So this is kind of the table and summary view here, but we can change them around up here. So for example, if we just wanted to see the table itself, we could do that. We can do, this is just the details. So you can see here we've got like an V viewer. So we can look into regions of the genome, and there are different kinds of ways to visualize it. But we're going to stay here. And the next thing I want to show you is how to get things out of the viewer. So we've done our filtering, so we can hit this export button here. The export button is at the bottom of the table. And you can see that we can export our results. So I'm going to save that. You can see that it is saved as a TSV file. So here we've got that TSV file, so I'm just going to open it up in my spreadsheet program here. 1 second. So here's that TSV file that's opened in our spreadsheet program. So you can see this section has a lot of metadata, but if we scroll over, you can see that we've got our different columns in our annotation. And these are the ClinVar columns with all of the annotations of interest. So that's the basics of working with the result viewer. There's also the gene table. So it's similar to the variants table, except this is summarized at the gene level. So you can see for RP1, there's only 1 coding variant, but for MEN1 here, you've got 2 coding variants. So depending on kind of your level of interest, you can examine things either at the variant and gene table. So you can also export using this export button to get your results out. So that's the basics of the result viewer. Hopefully that gives you enough to get started.